is Braden. Let me introduce my audience for my persuasive speech.
Trenton List.
Christy Hinson.
D-Lo.
Jen Manson.
So imagine waking up at 5:30 a.m., getting ready, and catching a bus. You get to school and have a chemistry test. You're half asleep, and you spend your whole day at school, leave late on the bus, go to work or a sporting activity, just to get home late for dinner. And then you follow that by a shower, homework, and you get to bed after 11, just to do that all over again for the next week. Most of us have days where we do not get enough sleep. We struggle to get through our everyday lives and jobs without having the added pressures of learning and performance-based tests. Later school start times are imperative for children's minds and bodies, and we all have obligations to facilitate this change. You might wonder if an extra 30 minutes to an hour of sleep is worth all of the changes that will have to be made. A later start time is more than just an issue of tests. It is also an issue of mental health, better behaviors, and stronger mental health. Sleep is linked to many facets of our daily lives, including brain development, cognitive functioning, appetite, mental health, and physical health. The AASM recommends that school-aged children and preteen get about 10 to 11 hours of sleep each night for optimal health. Students have many physical effects associated with sleep, and with sleep being one of the most essential needs of the body to grow and develop, it is undoubtedly a hazard to students to go without sleep. Not getting enough sleep is common among high school and teenagers, and it is associated with several health risks, including being overweight, drinking alcohol, smoking tobacco, and using drugs. Other effects are headaches, mood changes, emotional issues, and other things that can cause students to get into trouble at home and within the school system itself. The quantity and quality of sleep a student receives is important for the student's ability to function, focus, and get through the school day itself. There's data from a study conducted from everyday.com that suggests that when schools shifted their starting time from 7:50 to 8:45 in Seattle, the later wake-up time increased their grade point average 4.5% higher. As most researchers will agree, a later school start time will help solve many problems associated with the lack of sleep, as we discussed in the past. There are many things we can do to bring awareness to the crisis our youth are facing. Be aware of all the people that should and can help in changing our school policies. Students, parents, school committees, teachers, the superintendent, and concerned citizens. All these sources are able to help get your voice heard and can be crucial in creating a new policy. Begin your strategy by preparing a solid plan based on concrete studies and research. Be prepared to reframe the current policies compromise. There are many ways to promote the idea. Educate others, run for office within the student government if you're a student, or the PTA if you're a parent. Demonstrate by signs and shirts at school events, create a public awareness campaign, use social media, or do a family survey or your own personal studies. Most school systems have clear chain of command. When following this chain, you have the potential to just be putting on a band-aid on the problem. Following the proper channels will help eliminate hurt feelings and antagonism, and we'll be listening with more of an open mind. Let's consider some examples of the typical day of a student that is not getting enough rest. Early classes taken by students with not enough sleep can create accidents within the classroom. A perfect example of this would be a chemistry class at 7:30. As you might imagine, a chilly early morning with an exhausted student's performing experience could be a recipe for disaster. Add in the amount of children with their head down and sleeping, and as you might think, it is the least case completely unproductive. Lack of sleep also can be dangerous to the student and society as a whole. Picture a sleepy student functioning on little to no sleep. And finally, a tired child may be more prone to emotional or behavioral problems at school. Envision the fighting between students in the halls and classrooms, the teachers having problems with outbursts from children for disrupting the classrooms. In conclusion, I've talked about why schools should start later and its devastating effects on students. Today's scientists are still studying sleep deprivation of students. School starts so early in the morning that children find it hard focusing, learning, and functioning in society. Only about 20% of adolescents are getting the recommended 9 hours of sleep. School days should start later in the morning to give students a chance to get more sleep in order to perform their optimal levels. Getting enough rest is paramount to students and is conducive to productive learning. There is plenty of evidence and research to help us all become more informed. Let's all do our part to ensure that education for our youth and our future. As most researchers will agree that a later school start time will help solve many problems associated with sleep deprivation, as we have discussed. There are many things we can do to bring awareness to our crisis.